Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to talk about Russian Deadpool shooting Ivy and all the other things I've seen going on with it. By now you've likely heard the story. Just in case, these are the facts as we know them. This article comes from the Denver Post. Mesa County authorities have identified the 22-year-old man arrested in the fatal Saturday night shooting of a woman in Mesa County. Alexander Kopakov of Clifton is being held at the county jail on suspicion of second-degree murder. The shooting happened about 9:30 p.m. on the 3200 block of Half Lombardy Lane, where deputies, called out on reports of several gunshots, found the woman dead outside of a home. Kopakov was taken into custody. The slain woman was identified Monday afternoon as 31-year-old Heather Annabelle. The Mesa County Coroner's Office ruled her death a homicide by gunshot wounds to the neck and chest. The office said Annabelle's family has asked for privacy. The alleged motive for the killing has not been released, and officials say court documents have been sealed. Mesa County Sheriff's Office spokesman Henry Stoffel said over the weekend that an investigation is ongoing, but the department is not looking for any other suspects. The facts as we know them are simply that on Saturday night, Deadpool shot Ivy twice and killed her. He's been charged with second-degree murder. That's it. That's all we know. Everything else is speculation, hearsay, and rumor. That includes the stuff coming from Ivy and Deadpool's other two girlfriends, Harley and Athena. We should touch on that for just a moment. Deadpool and Harley have been together for a while. They wanted to have a polyamorous relationship and invited other people to join. The first time they tried it, it didn't really work out, but they tried again and found Ivy. Together, the three of them have been running the Skeptic Feminist channel. More recently, they found Athena, and she was to be the fourth wheel in this relationship. Only Deadpool and Ivy were home at the time of the shooting. Athena and Harley weren't there when it happened. Athena said she was talking to them just before it happened and claims that Deadpool had a psychotic break. Little Miss Anonymous was on a stream with Jeff Holiday where she tells this story, which is very similar.
Okay, so I've had an interesting day today. Early this morning, I was contacted by a friend of the victim, which is Ivy, that's been coming out, and he posted a screen cap of one of those articles where Russian Deadpool has been arrested on, I think it's second-degree murder charges, and at first I thought it was fake, because I am fairly familiar with Russian Deadpool. We've streamed several times together. He's always been nothing but nice to me, and he actually helped me a lot when I went through cancer treatment. And so it was just a shock, right? And I sent it to Bane, because Bane's also friends with him. And I started DMing with her friend, and he asked me to keep her identity private. So if anybody knows who she is, preferably don't spread her real name around. I know her online persona is already out there, but preferably keep her name out of it, at least until the news breaches it, because I don't think they all know yet. It just happened on Saturday.
Right.
So I was talking to her friend and asked him if he knew whether or not either one of them had violent streaks, like if they had domestic problems already in their relationship, and he said he never knew either one of them to be violent at all. And I asked a little bit more, and he said the only thing he could think of was that he had military PTSD. Russian Deadpool had military PTSD.
Right.
So it seems like, according to Athena, who was on the phone with him just before the shooting happened, that he had a psychotic breakdown. Now, we don't know why he had a psychotic breakdown. I'm not 100% sure it's connected to the PTSD, but I don't see any other reason why it wouldn't be, because
Right.
he doesn't have he never had violent tendencies before this.
We'll come back to the violent tendencies things here in a little while, but the point is none of this is corroborated. It's all speculation. Athena may have been talking to him. She may also be covering for a lover who's likely to spend the rest of his life in jail if he's convicted of second-degree murder. After all, there is news coming out that the prosecutor is looking at a first-degree murder charge. This one comes to us from the Daily Sentinel. The 29-year-old Clifton man accused of shooting a woman to death Saturday night appeared in Mesa County Court on Monday and was advised of a possible second-degree murder charge. Alexander Koplikoff, though, could face a first-degree murder charge, according to Assistant District Attorney Rich Tuttle, who told the court that his office is taking a, quote, hard look at the higher charge. Now, this doesn't mean they will charge him with first-degree murder, just that they're looking at it. It's not as open as shut as some people are saying. I am a little bit annoyed at that Jeff Holiday stream because even though Jeff comes out and says, this is not just about Alexander, using the case to highlight PTSD gives the impression that that is what this is about, that absolutely he had a psychotic break. And we just don't know that. I think Some Dumb American said it pretty well in her video on this.
Now, I'm not saying this to be mean or insensitive, but the two people who are claiming that it was a severe PTSD flashback, Harley and Athena, two of the other girls in the relationship, have just lost two people that are very, very close to them. And when something like that happens, your emotions are all over the place, and you're in denial, and you're going through shock. And that means that these two people are not objective, unbiased sources who can really tell us what was going on. We have to wait for the actual facts to come out before we present that scenario as a fact. It could possibly come out that that is exactly what happened, but we don't know yet. Another thing that I want to say is those of you who are taunting a bunch of feminists who were friends with these people because you think that this is some sort of ideological win, fuck you guys, knock it off.
I'm glad she brought up people taunting the friends of the Skeptic Feminists. I have a very dark sense of humor. I really like gallows humor and too soon jokes. But directing those kind of things at friends of the people involved in the story is just a shitty thing to do. However, that doesn't mean no one can joke about this.
Hey guys, I'm here. We're going to
I am destroying the intro.
You destroyed the intro crowd. Well, a feminist got triggered.
Yeah. For the final time. For the last time.
Not too soon crowd. As I said before, like too soon is literally 5 seconds before it happens. That's when it's too soon.
Yeah. This is an example of too soon. V's joke might be insensitive to some, but it wasn't directed at Harley, Athena, or any of their friends. Now, I haven't watched the whole stream, so there may be some taunting in there, but this was just a dark joke, no different than somebody might make if a celebrity died. There is a tendency for us as a species to take things worse when we're directly involved. People who might have laughed at this joke if it had been about some celebrity might still get offended by this because they were friends with Ivy or know somebody who was. I'm sorry, but rules don't change because of your personal involvement. People will make jokes about this, and frankly, that's okay. I personally think it's fucked up to direct it to people affected, but jokes don't stop just because something affected you. One more thing I'd like to touch on is I've seen people complain about monetized videos discussing this. Once again, the rules don't change. This is news, and it's a big story, and people are going to talk about it, and they don't have to demonetize because of it. I do wonder if the people who complain about monetization on this call the local news stations to complain about them monetizing their stories on it. And finally, I want to talk about the drama involving Bering. Several people, including Ranting Feminist, got mad because Bering made this video.
Who remembers Russian Deadpool from the Skeptic Feminist channel?
We got a message on Twitter from our good friend JPM, letting us know that our even gooder friend, Woolly Bumblebee, has been shit on in an extraordinarily new way. That is to say, had the life of her children threatened in a credible way. Are you in favor of death threats to motherfucking children? Hey, fuckface, come at me, bro. Come on. Come on. How about you step up and you threaten a fucking adult, you worthless, squirmy, coward piece of shit? Come the fuck at me. Please. We've burned Korans. We've helped free women from fucking Saudi Arabia. This shit. Oh, bring it the fuck on. Do what jihadists are too pussy to do. Come at me, motherfucker.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy about those threats that the woolly bumblebee made up. In fact, not only did he blame me, he wanted to meet up and fight me.
Fuck you, Bering. And by the way, Bering, since you're in Australia, if you want to meet face to face and explain your bitch ass, oh yeah, you know how to get in contact with us.
Now, Bering has said that he did this to remind his audience who Deadpool was, because this is the interaction he had with him. And if you watch the full video, that is the context it's presented in. Ranting Feminist is wrong here. First of all, this is relevant if you go back to look at what Little Miss Anonymous said, that there's no history of violence. Really? Here he is making threats of violence. On top of that, if you look at what was coming out of the Skeptic Feminist today, they're making the claim he had a severe psychotic break, and they make statements that make it sound like he's had these issues before. If he did, why in the fuck was there a gun in this house? Either way, there's evidence that this man had problems before, and it was allowed to just fester. There's nothing wrong with pointing that out either. Yeah, he may have had a psychotic break, or he may have just been very angry about something. This is all matter of public record. Russian Deadpool didn't take this video off his channel. It's still there. You could still go see him threatening people on his own goddamn channel. It may be relevant, it may not. But you can't just take the things that exonerate your friend and say, this is absolutely true, and then take the things that actually make him look violent and go, oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that. That might make the murderer look bad. This whole situation is fucked up. A woman is dead. There's nothing great about it. Long story short, we don't know what happened there. We have some people with personal involvement, with a personal stake in it, coming out and giving us an excuse that would exonerate him. And you know what? It might be true. But the chance that it's not true is just as good at this point. People are allowed their opinion on it. People are allowed to make jokes on it. And yes, people are even allowed to make money talking about it. Just because it happened within the YouTube community doesn't mean it's off limits. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I will see you next time.